And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, If a man has a tzara'ath, a sapachat, or a baharet on the skin of his flesh, and it forms a lesion of tzara'ath on the skin of his flesh, he shall be brought to Aaron the Kohen, or to one of his sons, the Kohanim. The Kohen shall look at the lesion on the skin of his flesh, and if hair in the lesion is turned white, and the appearance of the lesion is deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a lesion of tzara'ath. When the Kohen sees this, he shall pronounce him unclean. But if it is a white baharet on the skin of his flesh, and its appearance is not deeper than the skin, and its hair is not turned white, the Kohen shall quarantine the person with the lesion for 7 days, and on the 7th day the Kohen shall see him, and behold, the lesion has remained the same in its appearance. The lesion has not spread on the skin. So the Kohen shall quarantine him for 7 days a second time. And the Kohen shall see him on the 7th day a second time, and behold, the lesion has become dimmer, and the lesion has not spread on the skin. The Kohen shall pronounce him clean. It is a mispachat, he shall immerse his garments and become clean. However, if the mispachat spreads on the skin after it has been shown to the Kohen for his purification, shall be shown to the Kohen a second time. The Kohen shall look at it. Behold, the mispachat has spread on the skin. The Kohen shall pronounce him unclean. It is tzara'ath. If a man has a lesion of tzara'ath, he shall be brought to the Kohen. The Kohen shall look at it, and behold, there is a white tzara'ath on the skin, and either it has turned the hair white, or there is healthy, live flesh in the tzara'ath. It is old tzara'ath on the skin of his flesh, and the Kohen shall pronounce him unclean. He need not quarantine him, because he is unclean. And if the tzara'ath is spread over the skin, whereby the tzara'ath covers all the skin of the person, with the lesion from his head to his feet, whether the eyes of the Kohen can see it, then the Kohen shall look at it. Behold, the tzara'ath has covered all his flesh. He shall pronounce the person with the lesion clean. He has turned completely white. He is clean. But on the day that live flesh appears in it, he shall become unclean. When the Kohen sees the healthy live flesh, he shall pronounce him unclean. The live flesh is unclean. It is tzara'ath. But if the healthy live flesh once again turns white, he shall come to the Kohen. And the Kohen shall look at it, and behold, the lesion has turned white. The Kohen shall pronounce the lesion clean. He is clean. If a person's flesh has a inflammation on its skin, and it heals, and on the place of the inflammation there is a white tzara'ath, or a reddish white baharet, it shall be shown to the Kohen. The Kohen shall look at it, and behold, its appearance is lower than the skin. Its hair has turned white. So the Kohen shall pronounce him unclean. It is a lesion of tzara'ath that has erupted on the inflammation. But if the Kohen looks at it, and behold, it does not contain white hair, nor does it appear to be lower than the skin, and it is dim, the Kohen shall quarantine him for 7 days. And if it spreads on the skin, the Kohen shall pronounce him unclean. It is a lesion. But if the baharet remains in its place, not spreading, it is the scar tissue of the inflammation, and the Kohen shall pronounce him clean. If a person's flesh has a fine burn on its skin, and on the healed area of the burn there is a reddish white or white baharet, the Kohen shall look at it, and behold, the hair has turned white in the baharet, and its appearance is deeper than the skin. It is tzara'ath which has spread in the burn. So the Kohen shall pronounce him unclean. It is a lesion of tzara'ath. But if the Kohen looks at it, and behold, there is no white hair in the baharet, and it is not lower than the skin, and it is dim, the Kohen shall quarantine him for 7 days. The Kohen shall look at it on the 7th day. If it has spread on the skin, the Kohen shall pronounce him unclean. It is a lesion of tzara'ath. But if the baharet remains in its place, not increasing on the skin, and it is dim, it is a tzara'ath of the burn, and the Kohen shall pronounce him clean, because it is the scar tissue of the burn. If a man or a woman has a lesion on the head or on the beard area, the Kohen shall look at the lesion, and behold, its appearance is deeper than the skin, and it is a thin golden yellow hair. The Kohen shall pronounce him unclean. It is a netchek, which is tzara'ath, of the head or the beard. When the Kohen looks at the netchek lesion, and behold, its appearance is not deeper than the skin, and there is no black hair in it, the Kohen shall quarantine the person with the netchek lesion for 7 days, and the Kohen shall look at the lesion on the 7th day, and behold, the netchek is not spread, and no golden yellow hair was in it, and the appearance of the netchek is not deeper than the skin. He shall shave himself, but adjacent to the netchek he shall not shave, and the Kohen shall quarantine the person with the netchek again for 7 days. And the Kohen shall look at the netchek on the 7th day, and behold, the netchek did not spread on the skin, and its appearance is not deeper in the skin. The Kohen shall pronounce him clean. He shall immerse his garments and become clean. But if the netchek spreads on the skin, and after he has been declared clean, the Kohen shall look at it, and behold, the netchek has spread on the skin. The Kohen need not examine for golden yellow hair. It is unclean. But if the appearance of the netchek has remained the same, or if black hair has grown in it, the netchek is healed, he is clean. So the Kohen shall pronounce him clean. If a man or a woman has spots on the skin of their flesh, white spots, the Kohen shall look, and behold, there are dim white spots on the skin of their flesh. It is a ohak pigmentation which has spread on the skin. He is clean. If a man loses the hair on the back of his head, he is bald, he is clean. And if he loses his hair on the side toward his face, and he is bald at the front, he is clean. If there is a reddish white lesion on the back of or front bald area, it is a spreading tzara'ath in his back or front bald area, so the Kohen shall look at it. And behold, there is a reddish white tzara'ath lesion on his back or front bald area, like the appearance of a tzara'ath on the skin of the flesh. He is a man afflicted with tzara'ath, he is unclean. The Kohen shall surely pronounce him unclean. His lesion is on his head. And the person with tzara'ath in whom there is the lesion, his garment shall be torn, his head shall be unshorn. He shall cover himself down to his mustache, and call out, unclean, unclean. All the days of the lesion is upon him, he shall remain unclean. He is unclean, he shall dwell isolated. His dwelling shall be outside the camp. And as for the garment that has the lesion of tzara'ath upon it, on a woolen garment, or on a linen garment, or on threads prepared for the warp, or the woof of linen, or of wool, or on leather, or on anything made from leather, if the lesion on the garment, the leather, the wrap, or woof threads, or on any leather article is deep green or deep red, it is a lesion of tzara'ath. It shall be shown to the Kohen. Kohen shall look at the lesion, and he shall quarantine the article with the lesion for 7 days. And he shall look at the lesion on the 7th day. If the lesion has spread on the garment, or on the wrap, on the warp or woof threads, or on the leather, or on any article made from leather, the lesion is a malignant tzara'ath. It is unclean. He shall burn the garment, the warp or woof threads of wool or of linen, or any leather article which has the lesion upon it, for it is a malignant tzara'ath. It shall be burned in fire. For if the Kohen looks, and behold, the lesion is not spread on the garment, the warp or woof threads, or any leather article, the Kohen shall order, and they shall wash what the lesion is upon, and he shall quarantine it again for 7 days. And the Kohen shall look at it after the lesion has been washed, and behold, the lesion has not changed in appearance, and the lesion has not spread. It is unclean. He shall burn it in fire. It is a penetrating lesion of the worn or new article. For if the Kohen looks at it after it has been washed, and behold, the lesion has become dimmer, he shall tear it out of the garment, out of the leather, or out of the warp or woof threads. And if it appears again on the garment, the warp or woof threads, or any leather article, it is a recurrent growth of the lesion. He shall burn it in the fire, the article upon which the lesion is found. But the garment, the warp or woof threads, or Any leather article which is washed and the lesion disappears from them shall be immersed a second time, and it shall be clean. This is the law of a lesion of tzara'ath on a woolen or linen garment, warp or woof threads, or any leather article, to render it clean or unclean.